We had lots of magic jam for a while. There is no magic jam on your tiny vessel.
Well, then let's just quit and start a new campaign. Just kidding.
Who has a 100-word summary of all the trouble you got into last week?
We sailed on an. Okay, first of all, I don't remember the name of the vessel. Does anybody? It was the Cockatoo, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was like the something Cockatoo.
Oh, was it?
I
Yeah.
don't think it was something cockatoo. I think it was just the cockatoo.
Just the Cockatoo? Okay. So we flew on the Cockatoo, and then we parachuted down into the Underdark, and then we spent 53? Question mark?
Oh, 57.
57, yes. Those extra 4 days are what's going to break us. 57 days sailing around Lost. And then we hit land, and here we are.
Okay.
Tried to make friends with the local fish folk. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I do want to clarify that being in the Underdark, it's not just like D&D in dark mode. Like it is on Beyond.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes things easier to read.
So here's the problem that I had was I needed a way to model what kind of condition your ragged band of adventurers would be in after 57 days being lost in an ocean you can't even properly navigate, with electric storms and fish people and having to constantly pull your way around these stalagmites. You do have a source of food. You can catch... there's edible fauna to be had, and you have an alchemist who can make as much mayonnaise as you require.
So also, they were giving me a hard time about this, but I did have barrels to collect rainwater.
Yeah.
Now that isn't necessarily useful, but that means that we can have some combination of rainwater and, or we can have some combination of mayonnaise and honey and vinegar, because it can only put out one thing a day.
The problem
And the occasional good berry.
The problem is the rainwater is...
Yeah, we're not using it for rainwater. It's just that means that I can make all kinds of stuff and we can store it.
Yeah.
Is what that actually comes out to.
The rainwater, though, if you recall, is a misnomer. It's not actually rain.
It's real
the
salty.
ocean above that's coming down in torrents. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up calc.exe, and I want everybody to roll one for Numac as well. Roll percentile dice.
Roll percentile.
You just said towards of the ocean, and I was like, you wouldn't download an ocean.
BitTorrent, yeah.
72 for Gus.
Okay.
15.
I heard 15 for who?
15 for, I almost said Adrex, Connor.
And 53 for who?
Lucius.
And 70 for Alex.
And 60 for Numac.
Those are high numbers, guys.
We go big or we go home.
So
We all die of exhaustion.
that adds up to 270. So between the five of you, you need to apply 270 points of damage.
Ooh.
Do we have 270 HP between us?
You've got a lot of resources you can use. You've got spell charges. You've got hit dice.
I mean, I've still got all three of my healing
vitality?
mists. Yeah.
All right, I have
Okay, 'cause-
92 hit points.
Remember, Connor's blown all the spell charges making good berries.
Over the
Yes.
course
What was
of
the total
57
damage, Brick?
days, your party took 270 points of damage,
Okay. Let me go ahead and do those three.
being nickel and dying by fish people and having the ship battered around by electric storms and experimenting with what can be eaten and what cannot. And you know what? One plant-based trap, because why not?
That we
Advantage, baby! Woo!
just one off-screen plant-based trap.
Just like somebody bought a magical singing cactus and it got flushed down a toilet 13 years ago.
Sorry, I need to roll a lot of d6s.
Somebody got one of those. What is that common item that can bring a plant to life? It's in Xanathar. So you have to do like 30 days of a plant, and then it becomes alive.
Instead
becomes
of
a living
discussing
creature.
that, you should be figuring out how much damage everybody's taking.
I'm waiting for him to roll his dice,
Oh, okay.
trying to disguise the fact.
All right, so the first aura eats 69. Nice with that damage.
Nice.
The second aura will eat another 69 of that damage. Wow. And the third aura will eat 82 damage.
So
69,
Yeah.
nice.
You have
Plus
to apply-
69, nice.
50 points of damage to the party. And the rest gets eaten up by Aura of Vitality.
Lucius actually had.
So I can take 20 of that.
So question, we were able to get short rests, correct?
Yes.
Then I guess technically I could eat all 270 points of damage with.
Well, you only have to eat 50 because he's expending spell charges to cast Aura of
Well-
Vitality.
Well, I mean, you know, what is it called?
Second wind.
Second win I get it back on a short rest. Just eat 270 points of damage every.
Right, but you can only take... I guess you 57 short rests.
We were on the boat a long time.
I'm
Not
gonna
all that
get,
damage comes from combat, though.
Yeah.
So is you start taking just the rest of the 50?
How many second wins can I eat? Like, can I eat more than one? I'm not asking to eat all 57 points of damage with second win. That would be ridiculous. But could I theoretically get more than one and then go in with my second wind, or will my second wind be?
I'll say if you've used your second wind at all, then you're going to go into this session without it. How's that sound?
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fair.
I'll just take 20 of it, and then I'll spend some hit dice on during one of these many short rests, because I got plenty of hit dice still.
Let's
I'll take 10.
Let me take. You take 20. We got to split
Yep.
50. So I'll take 20. You take 20, and Lucius said he'll take 10,
Yeah, I've still got
and I can spend the hit die.
7 hit die. So
I get a lot of HP back on my
can't
hit die.
take them with you.
I'm only missing
I've
two.
still got some hit die as well, yeah, so.
I'm missing 38 right now.
Maximum healing, which is 14. So
Oscillation Overthruster.
I can't get Twitter to load.
I mean, that's fine. Like,
Yeah, there we
How
go.
many-
I have 1 hit die
anything
left, and I have no damage.
How much damage are we splitting?
we've already split the damage.
All right.
Unless you want to eat 5 of my 10.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're good.
All right. Now,
Okay.
everybody
Let's not do the math anymore.
Everybody roll a d6. Roll one.
But I just rolled 30d6.
Roll another one.
ooh,
4.
Oh no, I rolled
4.
60d6.
I heard
2.
4, I heard 3, I heard 2.
it was 2 for me, 2 from Destil.
And I need one for Numac.
And Numac contributes a 6.
You have 17 levels of exhaustion to distribute amongst the 5 of you.
Oof. That's a
How
lot
many
of
is
exhaustion.
fatal?
5.
6 is fatal.
Oh yeah, 5 is incapacitated.
5 is, you're laid up and can't move or do anything.
All right, so
Ah.
there are 5 of us between 17. That means everybody takes 3, and 2 people get 4,
Yeah.
which is, which will put 2 people at 5 because we already have a level of exhaustion. Meaning we're not going to be able to do anything
We
until
do?
we can. Yes, we previously took a level of exhaustion.
Getting down here, didn't we? Something
Yeah.
like
I don't. Huh. Okay.
that.
He gave it to us right before we started rolling for the days.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it then. I usually track that pretty carefully. But...
So
I
2
didn't
of
think
us are.
all of you had it. I thought only a couple of you did.
Yeah, I thought people failed a check or something and got it. I don't. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know.
There was a
you
save
know-
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
okay.
I have all my levels of exhaustion.
Yeah, I'm
Or-
fine.
So fine, I mean,
Let me
I mean,
double check.
Is that before or after we take this damage?
Oh, I don't have a level of exhaustion
It
either.
doesn't
Because
matter.
the hit point maximum halved might be relevant. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whichever,
I can
whichever
take-
answer doesn't start the session with everybody dead.
I can take 4. If 2
I'll
people
take-
need to take 4. I mean, Alex is pretty useless now. But he's also burnt all his spells, so
Yeah.
like, it's not like he was going to be more useful.
I was
and
gonna
I
say
can't-
the same thing about Connor.
Yeah, the thing is, we can't give me not enough that I could still be a good shot, so it doesn't really matter at that point. So yeah, I can take 4.
Okay.
Connor
Ooh,
can
do I have a
take 4.
spell that can recover a level of exhaustion on me? I might want to get rid of 1 level if I can.
Yeah, don't you have like the coffee for short rest spell?
That
or
just gives you
whatever?
an extra short rest. It doesn't
Ah.
remove exhaustion. Okay, I don't have anything. I don't.
It's like greater
think-
restoration, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Is it greater? Yeah, then I don't have it.
So, Alex has taken 4.
Yep.
It's 13 levels. We still need to allocate.
Lucius
Connor's
is
taking
3.
4.
Connor's taking 4.
Yeah.
Lucius is taking 3.
Yeah, because I can't spare the hit points.
So
I'm
that's
sorry.
6 that we have to split between Numac and Gus.
Oh yeah, I thought everyone else was taking 3 and I was taking 4. Plus the people already had levels.
No, it's that we had 17, so
Yeah.
So 2 people have to take 4. I'll take.
Yeah.
I guess everybody else is taking 3.
So
If
Gus
they're
and
taking
Numac are
4.
both taking 3.
Yeah.
So 3 levels of exhaustion is disadvantage on attack rolls and saves, half speed, and disadvantage on ability checks. Level 4 exhaustion is all that plus your HP maximum is cut in half.
Mhm.
Level 5
you want-
exhaustion is your speed is 0, so you can't
Do-
move. And then level
do-
6 is death.
Do we want Numac to take a 4th level and then me, and then just have me be up front?
Yeah, actually, let's give Numac 4 and
Yeah.
let's let you actually be functional.
So Gus is taking 2 levels.
Yeah.
Speed is
Yeah.
halved. Okay.
And Steely is immune to exhaustion.
Just strap you to the back of the mechanical
You think
badger.
I'm not riding the Badger? You got something else coming.
And so, fair to say, at this point in the voyage, that things are looking pretty ragged. You're stretched very thin, even
Yep.
with all of your magic and all of your skill and your intuition and all of your handy gadgets, and not having to worry really about food or drink. The dangers of this endless ocean. You can't even be sure which direction you're traveling in half the time. And that's when you see the sea monster.
Oh, good. We get to die now.
Far off in the distance on the horizon. And you can see it because it has its own illumination. It doesn't start illuminated. By the time you notice it, it lights up with this whitish purple light. And it's the giant monster shell that's poking out of the ocean, and it's close enough to you that you imagine it had to have come into the range of your sight and then illuminated itself. And you start hearing very loud splashing sounds in that direction.
Well, fellows, it's been a privilege sailing with the lot of you.
Gus frowns and looks at you and just makes a disgusted noise.
Lucius is like, this is the best 57 days of my life.
Yeah, the greatest. Wouldn't trade them for anything, except I would literally trade them for everything.
I mean, at this point, do we just shine the light in that direction?
I mean, it's the closest thing to a landmark we've seen. Let's go.
Yeah.
If nothing else, maybe it's friendly. Either way, I think that our journey will be over, and that's a good thing.
I envy you your optimism, Gustavus. I really do.
Either he helps us or it eats us, and either way, we're done sailing. So
Roll initiative.
Initiative is an ability check, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Rolled a 19 and a 20. Oh no, I rolled a 10. I'm sorry. I thought it was a 19.
Woo!
So go ahead and arrange yourself on deck how you want to be when this happens.
When the
And
end
also,
happens.
make sure to roll initiative for Numac as well.
Yep. I gotta get that stat block back out. I've been hit by DM.
All right, so right now the continual flame coin is on Steely. The lamp, the incredibly bright candle on a lamp hood, is on the mast.
Okay.
What did you get?
So Numac's down here on 4.
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Sorry, I have to go hunt down a monster manual for Nimax stat block.
Here, I'll roll. I'll roll a die. He gets a disadvantage. So 14 is what he gets on die. Let's see what his initiative is.
Slide him up 2.
Up 2.
That's his,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's on the same
That's his next
initiative.
bonus.
Let's put him
Alex.
before or after Alex.
Okay.
Pick one.
Cool.
So Alex, you've seen this giant shell off in the distance that's giving off this purplish glow. It's difficult to tell how far away it is because you're not sure how large it is.
Sure.
But you do hear loud splashing sounds in that direction as though something has hit the water hard. And you're up first.
Yeah, Alex goes over to the coin and points the lantern in that direction.
Okay.
And then, let's see, so my speed is half, so dodge, and then Steely will move over to the front of the boat and also dodge, and Alex will tell Gus, who's apparently currently at the helm, bring us around over that way.
Okay. And what about Numac?
Numac will move up next to Alexander and dodge.
Lucius.
Lucius is going to move back closer to the center line and dodge as well.
Connor.
That sounds like a good idea. Dodge, baby, dodge.
Gustavus.
Going to bring us around over there, which is, I'm assuming, a nautical term.
Yeah.
So what does bring us around over there mean?
I'm just gonna have to ask Destil that one.
Point the ship in that direction and hope the wind complies?
I guess sail us towards the
Yeah.
giant sea monster.
So you're working the vessel?
Yeah.
There are 4 smaller splashes in front of the ship as you're bringing it around and lining up with the creature off in the distance. And for a moment, you see these 4 black tentacles poke up out of the water and kind of test the air for a moment and then instantly disappear back under the water. It's going to bring us back to Alex.
Alex will yell out in both deep speech and undercommon, "Hello? Do you understand this?" And then he will take his action to dash back to the... So my speed's only 10. Dash back to the helm so that Gus can move up.
Numac.
And,
that
Numac
it?
continues to dodge.
yeah, and Steely dodges. Sorry.
Lucius.
Dodge.
Continuing to dodge. Connor.
Dodge.
Gus.
Okay, we're going to. How many squares is that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to dash
Mhm.
to get up here next to Steely at Alexander's insistence. I'm assuming that's what he wanted,
Okay.
and that's it.
Alex, Lucius,
Mhm.
Connor, and Numac. If you
Mhm.
please make me an intelligence saving throw.
And the exhaustion makes this a disadvantage, I believe.
The Constitution.
Intelligence.
Intelligence saving throw.
Is this
Disadvantage.
against magic?
It's in psionics.
Oh boy.
Lucius makes a 17.
Okay.
So
You
that's a
might
10 for Alex.
Looking for a 14.
No.
So Alex fails.
Connor fails.
Connor fails.
Numac fails.
Numac fails. So Lucius, this tentacle pokes up out of the water, and as you see it this close, right on the side of the boat, it looks less like a tentacle, like it did at a distance, and more like a bunch of overlapping chitinous plates, like an insect. And then on the tip of the tentacle, where these plates kind of meet and come around to an edge, there's some kind of bizarre hair-like organ that is flapping and flickering in your direction. The other three of you see this too, but with you, the tentacles pop up out of the water, and it's like that little organ fixates on you. The hairs get completely solid and poke out forward. Whereas Lucius, yours is just kind of tasting the air around you and then ducks back under the water.
Okay.
Alex, you're up. Your speed is 0.
Okay.
But you have an
I'm
action.
just gonna, as my action, I'm going to try and keep the ship steady.
Okay.
Does that take an action, or is that like where I use a reaction if something tries to grab the ship? Because I think in the past it was actually you had to use your reaction if something tries to shake it, right?
In theory, it could be both, because
Okay.
you use your action if you want the ship to do something right now, and then use a reaction if something happens.
Okay. In that case, I'll just dodge, and I can hopefully react if. And then Steely will also dodge.
Okay. Numac, speed is also 0.
Dodge.
Lucius, your speed is not 0, but the tentacle that was poking out a few moments ago is no longer in front of you. It plopped back down into the water.
Did I feel anything when that happened?
You didn't, but you see that Alex and Numac and Connor around you are moving very sluggishly.
I'm going to take a couple pot shots to this tentacle.
Okay.
Does a 25 hit?
25 will hit.
Looking at... Just double check, make sure I've got all the numbers that I have. 5. You're looking at 10 points of force damage.
Okay.
Second shot. Okay, go ahead. Also, it's pushed 10 feet.
Yeah, you can go ahead and push it. Push it away from the boat.
Yep. Actually, I'm going to redirect and try and push. The idea is I'm going to fire one in each direction to push them all away. I think that'd probably be the best thing. That's a second shot is a 14. Does a 14 hit?
14 does hit.
8 points of force damage. Back 10 feet.
Okay.
And the last one. Lucius is like, ugh. He gets a little woozy from spinning around in 3 different directions at once and completely beefs the third shot.
Okay, and the third shot goes wide. Moving or staying put?
Staying put.
It's going to bring us to Gus.
Gus is going 5, 10, 15. I made this one with my hammer.
Okay.
Watch me get pulled to my death. It's gonna be amazing. Does a 20 hit?
Does.
Okay. Let's see. It's a D. I need a D8. It's been a minute since we did this, so bear with me. That is 10 points of bludgeoning damage, magical.
10 points.
Second attack is 28 to hit
That'll hit.
for 9 points of magical bludgeoning damage, and the third hit is a 7.
A 7 will not hit.
So again, I do a little spin and then get disoriented and beef the third attack.
As you're smashing this thing with your hammer, this tentacle, you're expecting not a soft hit, but you're expecting it to feel like you're hitting chitinous armor. I mean, you fought, let's be real, you fought a lot of like giant insects in this campaign. I feel like we've done roach monsters and spider monsters. It's not what it feels like. It feels like you're hitting like a limb, like an arm covered in plate. And the tentacle is thrashing about, and it is bloodied.
And let me see, is there anything else I can do here? The answer is no. That is the end of my turn.
Okay. Let's repeat those saving throws for Alex, Numac, and Connor, and I'd also like Gus to make one.
Okay. And I do not have disadvantage because I only got 2 levels of
Yeah, that one's
exhaustion.
a 20.
Wow.
Looking for a 14.
I failed.
Connor passes. What?
Okay.
Wow.
How did Numac and
Would you be-
Alex do?
20.
Alex passes.
Numac gets a 9.
Numac fails.
That's got a 5.
Numac, you hear a clatter behind you, Gus, as Numac's sword slides from his hand and clatters onto the deck, and he drops to his knees on the ground, and his head is still kind of lolling about on his neck, and his eyes are fixated on this tentacle monster in front of him. And you passed that, correct, Gus?
No, I got a 5.
You got a 5. You did fail. Okay. So only Lucius is unaffected. That's going to bring us back to Alex.
Did you skip Connor?
Did I skip Connor? It's
I think you did. Yeah. I think you did.
Yeah, he was before me.
Yeah, you did.
I was just thinking about how much better Adrix was. And it made me subconsciously skip Connor.
Connor would hate Adrix because he'd be like, "You're not a ranger." Hush.
Oh, it would be. Anyway, I'll try to.
Adrix, you want to see my cool fairy sword? Connor's like, every word in that sentence was wrong.
I'll try to shoot this one. I'm assuming both will probably miss. Yeah, that's a 1. And
This is wrong.
well, let's see. That is a 26 to hit. So I guess that does it.
26 does hit. Remember, you're not recovering any arrows that you fire.
No,
They're all
get out of
damaged.
here. That is 9 damage.
9 damage.
Yeah. I'm glad I had my turn. I contributed.
And that one explodes when you put your arrow through it. This one here.
Nope.
And as soon as it explodes in a shower of sparks and an arc of lightning, which you also were not expecting. Then there's a splash as the thing falls dead into the water. And then you hear a slump next to you as Numac hits the deck laying prone. He's like rubbing his head with his hands like he has a splitting headache. Connor, you're not able to move. You have no
Correct.
speed. So that's the end of Connor's turn. And that's going to bring us to Alex.
Okay. So that was the one that was bloodied? Is that right?
That one was
the one
blood.
already shot?
Yes.
Okay. Alex will level his gun at this one. They're all in the bright light from the candle right now, right?
Oh yeah, they're all illuminated.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a shot. That'll hit an armor class of 12.
12 will not hit.
Take a second shot. That'll hit an armor class of no.
No hits. And you have 0 speed.
Steely will activate the rod in his spell gullet and cast Levitate on Gus. And then Steely is going to move to here.
Okay.
That's the end of Alex and Steely's turns.
Numac is laying prone on the deck, but otherwise he is not under any of the effects of the creature anymore. So he can take his full movement and his turn.
Half movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that takes all of his movement to stand up?
Well, no, because at the beginning of your turn, you get it amount. Your speed is equal to your movement. So however much speed he has.
Okay.
Well,
So you can move 1 square.
yeah, that sounds right. Because yeah, nobody went all the way to 5
Yeah.
levels. Okay, yes. So he takes him a lot of effort to stand up. This man has not had a good meal in over a month.
Lots of honey and mayonnaise.
I feel like for everybody else, like they'll never eat honey and mayonnaise again. Whereas Alex is
Never.
going to have a crippling honey and mayonnaise sandwich addiction for the rest of his life.
He started putting mayonnaise in his coffee.
Oh my god. That made me throw up a little in my mouth. It's going to bring us to Lucius.
God, I can see it though.
Creamy.
Oh god, no.
Lucius,
I mean, well,
now that he sees that his 6 is a little bit covered by Gustavus and Steely, he won't spin himself all the way around in circles and cause himself to puke. So maybe. So shoot one there, and then the third I'll make a decision on in a minute.
Sure.
First shot to the north one is going to be a nat 1.
Yep.
Second shot to the south one is going to be a 23 to hit for 15 points force damage and gets pushed back 10 feet.
Go ahead and push it.
Yep. And then this one,
I'm sorry, how much force damage? 15?
15 points force damage.
It explodes.
All right. And this one is going to take a third
Alex,
shot.
Yeah.
It's when that thing explodes into a shower of sparks, you feel weightless for a moment. And then you hit the deck in front of you. You're no longer under the thing's effect, but you're like a pile of potatoes fall into the deck, laying prone.
Yeah, I'm going to hit that one with my third shot.
Okay.
How does a 23 do?
That'll hit.
I already asked that question.
Its AC is at least 23.
Yep. 7 points force damage and push 10 feet. Also, I will take 15 temporary hit points. Thank you very much. 16 temporary hit points. I'm sorry.
Moving or staying put?
Staying put.
Okay, it's going to bring us to Connor. Your speed is... no, you don't have one anymore. No, you do have one. Your speed is 0. Otherwise, you can act normally.
this one still exists. This
Oh, yeah.
one still exists.
They both still
All right.
exist.
Shoot. Can I actually make it my Slayer's Prey? I can't. Yeah, because it's a creature. All right, we're gonna Slayer's Prey that one. Yeah, we're gonna see how this goes.
And you cannot. It's not a creature.
Ah, that is a 15.
15 will hit, though.
Good thing no one knows magic missile.
I do.
So 11 points of damage.
Okay. And it is bloodied. No, I'm sorry. It is exploded.
Woo!
Yeah, Lucius has been laying the hurt on these things.
And with that one explodes, Connor, I mean, for a moment, you feel just completely weightless. Like a weird dizzy spell rushes all the way up and lingers in your head for a moment. And by the time it passes, you realize you're on your knees on the deck, barely clinging to your bow. So you're prone in that square, but otherwise fine.
All right, I have a second shot for that guy there.
Okay.
Who is definitely not a creature. That is a 17 to hit
That'll hit.
for 13 damage.
And it is bloodied as you blow away one of its chitinous plates.
Let's not be prone anymore.
Your speed is 0, so you're not moving anywhere. That's going to bring us to Gus.
Where do you want to be prone now?
Gus, your speed is 0.
Yeah, I know. But I will cast Firebolt on this guy.
Okay.
So That is a crit,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's 3d10. Yes, so I need 60-10.
So 60-10, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gus is like, I'm a
That's a lot of
fighter.
damage.
Pew pew pew.
That's a lot of damage.
30 damage fire.
And it explodes. And the same thing happens to you. You just feel weightless for a moment, and then you find yourself kind of collapsed onto the deck.
It's fine. I'm just gonna lay here.
And over the course of the few seconds, your boat has been moving towards the illuminated creature, and the giant shell is also moving towards you guys. So what do you do in the next minute or so?
Are we still heading towards the giant creature, Alex?
I mean,
Gus, Connor, Alex. So, okay, here's what happens. You guys are going to figure out what you're doing in the next minute or so. And Gus turns around and says, Alex. And nobody on deck knows who Alex is. Lucius, you do. Actually, everybody knows who Alex is, except for Alex. Alex, you don't recognize your own name, is what I meant to say. So when
yeah,
you
Alex
call-
doesn't respond when you say that.
When you called out Alex, everybody looks to you, and you have no idea who Alex is.
Lucius reaches over and nudges your shoulder. Alex, you okay?
Who? Am I supposed to be steering this thing?
So, Gus,
Yeah.
where did you people come from?
Came in from a hole? From Dunfoss? Wait, who asked that question?
Connor, why did you all come down from a hole through Dunfoss?
We were chasing after a ghost ship.
Alex, who in the hell is King Catspin?
I mean, I think we have multiple sets of his bones back on the boat.
Right, but if someone were to ask you who is King Catspin, well, would that be your response?
Yeah, that would be Alex's response right now. Oh, and multiple sets does not mean like different bones. It means like the same bone multiple times. He would clarify.
Gus.
Huh?
You don't know what your name is, and you have no idea where you came from. Connor, you have no idea what your name is, and you have no idea that you've ever been aboard a ghost ship. Alex, you don't know what your name is, you don't know who King Catspin is, and you definitely don't know that you have multiple boxes of his bones.
Okay.
So, what does the next minute or so look like?
Probably confusion.
Yeah, Lucius is going around to the others and trying to snap them to their senses.
Connor's just gonna sit over here, leaning against the side of the boat.
You okay there,
Setting.
Connor?
Connor. Lucius reaches over, snaps in his eyes.
What?
Connor.
What? Who's
Listen,
Connor?
This isn't any time to be getting addled. We have to keep our wits about us.
This is another scene that would be much more fun with Florian, I think.
I feel like I'm just letting everybody down.
Listen, I cannot articulate how disappointed we all are in Connor.
All right.
But I know Lucius is snapping his fingers at me, right?
Oh yeah, no, you're completely in control of your actions. You don't feel like you've gone crazy after that moment of dizziness and falling to the deck. You're not
Yeah.
under physical distress.
Calm, calm down, Lucius. It's fine. It's been a while. Just need to rest. Take a deep breath.
Lucius, make an Arcana check.
At disadvantage because I'm tired out of my
He's
gourd.
real tired.
9.
Lucius, if you had to choose right now between a feather bed and a big plate of spaghetti with no mayonnaise,
Oh, jeez.
I would. Can I have both, please?
no, you have to pick one. And it's reverse. You'd have to eat the feather bed or sleep on the plate of mayonnaise. No,
There
Lucius,
was
interrogating your friends, like, there's clearly something wrong. They know each other, and they know themselves, they just don't recognize their own names. And in the moments of this confusion, the shell looms in the distance. So now you can see how large it is, and it's about maybe 50 or 60 feet away. And it looks like it's slowing up. Like it's not going to collide with your vessel. Coming to a stop. And it looks just like a massive conch shell.
Lucius gestures fiercely at that thing and says, "That's why we need to keep our wits about us, gents."
I mean, I'm all right.
I mean, so far it hasn't actually attacked us. That seems like an improvement over most things down here. Up
So-
here, down here, down.
Just
Does this carapace seem to match with the tentacles that were hypnotizing my friends?
It's not a carapace, it's a shell. It's a giant,
Okay.
like, nautilus shell poking up out of the water.
is there an
But-
entrance?
No, because part of it is submerged.
Okay.
But does it like have the same, basic like characteristics of like the
No, it doesn't look like an insect at all. It
Yeah.
looks like a giant shell. And
okay.
it's giving off its
Does-
own illumination. It's giving off its own purplish glow in the haze.
You want
And
to just
my question is that the tentacles that were manhandling my friends' brains isn't
Doesn't look like it's the
Doesn't-
same material.
okay.
It might. I mean, if it was connected to the rest of the creature, they would have had to be hundreds of feet long,
Okay, yeah.
and no,
All right then.
it would have a lot more than 4 of them possibly.
Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to know at this point. So Lucius
it.
is still on guard, but definitely not as like about ready to cap a foo.
Then
I
the whole shell begins turning in the water, just like doing a very slow barrel roll.
Oh, crap. I guess Gus stands up and was like, "All right."
Who?
I stand up.
Okay.
His name is still Gus, even if he doesn't know it.
Does do I know whose steel he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, question, like, how on clarification on how confused about the names are we?
Mhm.
So, like, if Lucius says you're Gus, does that just slide off of me, or like, is it like just a momentary like sense of confusion, and I don't like retain the information?
Gus doesn't sound like you. It's not a word that you associate with yourself. You don't recognize it as your name. It's just a word that Lucius is calling you. Like if I just started, "Hey, you're Mike," and then kept calling you Mike.
I mean, okay, I guess if you want to call me Alex, that makes things easier for you, Lucius. So we'll
Yeah.
do that. I
It's either-
don't think it's appropriate, but we'll do it.
It's either
Why
that
don't
or
I get
Orange
Steely
Captain.
back here? And I will start bringing us around to match the speed of this thing.
Okay. And as the thing rotates in the water, a large opening appears, and you see there's not a creature inside the shell at all. Just kind of this dark purple membrane. So as the shell rolls, the interior of it partially comes into view. It's partially above the water line. And then you see a very sharp point of illumination behind this purple membrane for a moment.
Lucius calls out, speaks in Infernal first, tries his other languages for looking for a response.
Yeah, Alex will add Undercommon and Deep Speech.
And then the membrane splits, and an upside-down gnome head pokes out through it and calls out in deep speech and says, "Send forth Alex."
Lucius turns to Alex, pushes Alex's shoulder.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, right. It would make it easier on him, too, if I listen to that. Okay.
Your name is Alexander Flintraker, if you're asked.
Got it.
And then he winks.
Mr. Underhill, I presume.
When I say hello, Mr. Flintraker, and step on your foot.
We are on a boat. Hey, Lucius, you want to see my new chainsaw and hockey mask?
Really rather not. What's hockey?
Alex.
Yeah.
The gnome calls out, wanting to know which clan you hail from.
Do I have any knowledge like that in my head?
Kingdom and clan is what he's asking. If you lived in the Underdark, like most deep gnomes do, you probably would have an answer to this question, yes.
Oh, and I guess my question is, but is that actually in Alex's head?
Oh yeah,
right
it's
now?
in there. You
Okay.
You remember where?
Yeah,
you're
no,
from.
Deep Merksif, Flintrakers.
Merksif. And then the membrane closes back up, and the sharp point of light vanishes for a few moments.
Apparently, he said something to upset him.
Is Deep Merksik like not a hot tourist destination?
I mean, look, if you've been at war with the Lithids for 130 years,
He doesn't let us in. I'm going to we're going to be knocking his door down, I think.
Well, you guys are in a kind of shambolic state at the moment. The membrane splits back open a second time, and now 3 deep gnome heads are poking out of it, all upside down.
Why are they upside down?
One of them calls out,
The thing turned
"Merksif,
upside down.
you're a long way from home, aren't you?"
yeah.
"What were you doing in Dunfoss?"
I don't know what's a Dunfoss? Where's a Dunfoss? We
Oh,
came from a Dunfoss?
You know everything about Dunfoss.
Oh, I do? Okay, sorry.
Gus doesn't.
Well, I was living there with someone, and then there opened up a hole, and it led down here.
And the gnomes exchange glances.
What's a Dunfoss?
He calls out, "Why do you have King Catspan's bones?" And this time he's directing the question at the rest of the ship, not at Alex specifically.
Is this in common or is this in deep speech?
It's in Undercommon.
We don't speak
Still
that.
outside of Lucius's realm of knowledge.
Well, we found them on the ship that made the hole, and we thought it might be relevant.
You don't know anything
No.
about the bones.
Oh, okay.
You can translate for
What-
the rest of these guys, though.
Yeah, okay, I'll translate.
Well, there were so many there that we just felt like we had to take them. There was like a fire cell on King Catspan's bones.
Hey! No more sarcasm, please.
Listen, this is the 58th day on the ocean.
This
Sarcasm
Catspan-
is all I have left.
Is he a king of Dunfoss?
Once upon a time,
And you murdered him, and then escaped
No,
down a
no.
hole into the Underdark.
certainly not.
Bring forth
He
his
was
bones, I
long-
would see them.
We never actually brought them down, did we?
No, they're in Alex's bag of holding. But Alex doesn't know anything about the bones, so he can't help you with that.
Yeah, Lucius.
Oh my
shoves
God.
Over to Alex and starts rummaging through this bag of holding.
So you start pulling out bones, pieces of King Catsman.
Yeah.
It's like a
They're
single.
they're all wrapped in they're all wrapped in like a bandage or something, so you can get them with one pull.
Okay. Yeah.
The middle of the three gnomes, you see his head turned to the side as Lucius is pulling bones out of his bag and laying them out on the deck. And there's some conversation between the three of them that you can't hear from this distance. Then the middle one calls out, again in Undercommon. What are you armed with?
Lucius holds up his pull cord scepter and then lays it down on the deck.
And he's directing the question at the whole ship. Your ship doesn't actually have this ballista here, does it?
Yeah, it does.
It does? Okay.
We have one ballista, one long-range modified alchemical Mark IV personal musket, one animate steel Wolverine, one set of magical hammers, spear, several magical swords, a magical bow, an enhanced Mark III magical rod. Alex just recites this like without even realizing what he's saying.
Okay.
Oh, Alex, question: why are we telling them? Why are we? Who are these people?
They're the only people down here that haven't tried to kill us, and arguably the only people down here that we could even call people. So
They're upside down gnome heads, Alex.
There's some discussion between the upside down gnome heads again. For a
Working
moment.
on it.
Then
Like-
Working on it.
Calls back out.
Get them to like wave an arm out or something, so we can make sure they're just not just fake heads or something.
And the head calls out. Again in Undercommon. Do you mean as hostility?
no, and Alex will translate that for his group.
Yeah, Lucius
That's what-
shakes his head very quickly.
Yeah, Gus will shake his head no.
Are you in distress?
Lucius
Alex will
nods very
translate that as he
vigorously
lets his
once it's
companions
translated.
respond.
Gus gets the most pitiful look on his face.
So
Looks like somebody kicked a puppy.
we're saying yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He directs. He asks Alex if the ballista can be dismantled.
Oh, easily.
They instruct you to do so.
Alex just goes over and just pulls out the firing pin on the trigger and removes the the string.
Okay. You start taking pieces off the ballista. One of the gnomes calls out, says, "We're sending over a raft. Place all of your weaponry, spellcasting accessories into it."
Lucius, places his once it gets here. Lucius will place his book and his scepter in there.
So, a second light appears at the bottom of this membrane, right at the waterline of this shell. Another gnome head pokes through. This one's at like a 90-degree angle, sideways, and pushes out a small raft onto the water, and then starts letting out chain from a winch. You can hear it. And you see this raft come. It's barely big enough for one of you to climb onto. Maybe Alex could.
That's not going to be big enough for all my spellcasting equipment.
And by the time it gets close enough to your boat, and it's got this long chain connecting it back, Alex, the raft has a hole in the middle of it that looks impossibly deep.
Oh, good, excellent. All right.
And you're instructed to
Scrappy.
start loading the ballista pieces into it. And
Yep. I'm going to have Steely is going to levitate himself and act as a stool,
Okay,
like float
stop.
down to there. Yeah.
Stop. Why are we giving? Why?
Because it beats floating on this unknown ocean for another 80-something days and hoping the next group of people we meet doesn't want to eat us.
57.
57 days.